Peace. You already know, man. You and I verse all temple, the sun, planet, moon, and stars. So we back in the building. King El Bay about to come back in a minute. We about to go through the second or the ratified Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836, and break that down. So yeah, so like I said in the previous show, we broke down the first treaty, and then we talked about how that treaty was given a 50-year um, a session, I guess, a 50-year, another year, 50 years before the ratification. So then when it was ratified in 1836, then it was signed on to. I used to, if y'all followed any of my old information, I used to have a misunderstanding or misconception of the word ratify. I thought ratify meant to change or to alter the document. No, ratify means to sign on to. So when they signed on to it in 1836, then it became, officially accepted by the other nations that signed on to it. You know what I mean? So that's what ratification is. So if you're doing like an instrument of ratification, you're gonna be waiting a long time, man, and all of that for them to finally send it and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You rather do a session, and once you accede or do an instrument of a session, as soon as you accede to the treaty, it's like you in the door. You know what I'm saying? It's like you as soon as you accede, now you're at the same level of treaty. You know what I mean? The same international stance. You know what I mean? Damn, I just left the dog in the building. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah, I was trying to see if that was the link. I clicked it and it didn't let me in, so I clicked it and came back in. I want to show you my logo. You see it?
Oh, okay, okay,
This is my estate logo.
okay. Throw that up in the background, G.
I'm gonna see. I'm trying to see. This was my old one too.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's what you
King
said.
L Bay Trust Estate. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find the must. This ain't the. This ain't the. This ain't. Trying to find the stuff. Trying to find all the must logos. Here go the must. That's not it. That's for the stamp. Trying to see how to upload it.
Yeah, you just it's already in your computer. So go into the change background. Click that out. Go into your change background.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. The new must. Okay, there you go. Now, how do I
All
do
right,
this?
that's already in your file, right?
Right,
All right. So exit out of there.
exit out of here.
Yeah,
Let me see. Make sure. Let me make sure I save this onto my.
yeah. Save it by name because when you go back into your file, it's gonna be, you know what I mean. It's not gonna show the picture. It's gonna show the label, so that you have the identifier. So yeah, you want to change the name on it.
I'm trying to save it into. Insert. to this. Where the fuck is it going?
Yeah, you want to like click on it and hit save as.
I did. I tried to. I don't know why I hit save as, but it only. I'm trying to remember.
Image, click image.
It's already saved as an image.
So now change the name of. Okay, if that's the name of it, there, new must.
No, I know what I gotta do. It's cool. So click out in here and go where?
I'll go to change background. Go to the the prompts and the three button thing here.
Yeah, change background.
Right now click the go click the right there, the little positive button right there with the positive sign on it.
With the positive sign.
Here, X that out right there. Click hide. Click right there or click hide right here on this right here. This little thing, so you can move that out. Where it says stop presenting, right here. See my arrow?
Yeah.
Click hide.
Hide.
Yeah, right here on the thing here where it says stop sharing. No, right here. Do you see my arrow? You don't see my arrow?
No, I gotta click out of this. Where your arrow at? Oh, down here.
No. All right, nothing. All right, just go back to the see the positive button right here.
Yeah.
Click that, and now go into your files and upload the document. Upload the image, and then like later on in your own time, just take some time and upload all the images you want to upload, and then like throughout the thing, you can change your backgrounds, however you doing. That keeps the interest of the viewers. You know what I'm saying? When they're seeing different colors and different backgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's slick. The must right there.
You know what I'm saying? Now you in the building, God. You know what I'm saying? Got your picture. I showed Keith how to upload his joint the other night. I was like, he's like, okay. He's like, yeah, brother.
Yeah, I got the musters in the building, the Morris Junior.
Yeah, man, that's what we gotta do too, God. And you see, like when I be doing my videos, I put the name of your international organization and the name of my international, because that's showing that we treatying. That's showing that we come into agreements, we building. We showing international organization, international relations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this live right here, I like this. Yes. Musters in the building.
Oh,
M-U-S-T. Yeah, the all-seeing eye. So white guy was like, why do you got the devil? I was like, man, that ain't the devil.
Yeah, people been told that. They were taught that with all that exposed video shit, all that Illuminati stuff. Now I got all these young kids, they're afraid to go into comedic science because they think it's some Illuminati shit. No, it's not what it is. That's your own science. The eye on the pyramid, that's the pyramids they built in Africa and Egypt. We built that. Black people built pyramids. You know what I'm saying? That's our science. All seeing eye represents your mind, your pineal gland, so you can see everything in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no devil symbol. You know what I mean?
Triangle in the circle means infinity.
Yeah. They try to keep you away from opening your own mind. So they tell you it's something devilish, so you stay away from it.
Right.
Oh, that's astrology. That's witchcraft. Man, during slavery, didn't they follow the North Star so that they could get the freedom? So was that witchcraft? See what I'm saying? They followed the North Star to get the freedom. But they're gonna tell you, oh, that's witchcraft. You're not supposed to study the stars and all of that stuff. Get out of here, man. That's bullshit. They followed the North Star to get the freedom. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't a witchcraft. That was freedom.
Hell. And then they've been studying the universe for thousands of years and just watching the planet. Civilization's been recording how the earth travel around the sun and understand the seasons, and they can predict things based upon their observation.
Right. It's like the like the Dogon tribe of Mali, they mapped out the star series system, series A, series B, and series C. And the high priest of Mali, they were able to go up to the high mountains and observe the star. All the prophets transcended the knowledge from generation to generation. And when it was the time for the person in that time to see the star, they saw the star, and they mapped out a 175,000 year elliptical orbit of the star series. You know what I mean? So they was able to predict all that or record all of that history. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then on top of that, when you see them doing certain dances, the ceremonial dances, they're actually dancing out the movement of of the star system. You know what I mean? They do a dance where they record the same patterns of the movements of the star. They do the same thing. They've been copying our science. You see that show on TV, Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
When they be dancing, the movements that they move, they're moving in steps of stars, of star constellations. They're actually dancing out star constellation movements. You know what I'm saying? They're dancing they're stepping in positions of constellation grids. So when they say dancing with the stars, they are literally dancing with the stars. And what they're doing is they're doing that dance just like the Indians did the rain dance to transfer the energy from the stars down to the earth. You know what I'm saying? So when they say we can make you a star, you know what I'm saying? So literally they are making people into stars, giving them transferring that star energy through the pattern of the dances. So they are dancing with the stars. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a science, God. They've been using our science forever. And like I say, I attribute that back to the Dogon tribe of Mali.
Hold on a second, now. Did your mama leave? Wait. You got the charger? Why did you think about the stuff on the phone?
Let's see. So we're gonna get into the night, man. We're gonna break down that Treaty of Peace. You you have your treaty pulled up. Trying to look for the 1830.
I don't have the treaty pulled up.
Oh, I'm about to look for it now.
This man, she be always trying to leave me with these kids, boy. This about to be not welcome.
Oh, let's stop real fast. So yeah, so you try to find this here, the Barbary treaties.
I come from here, but I don't have money for the first long term of the month here.
This is bullshit. What's going on? Get American University.
Yeah, wait for my I'm on third.
This is 1786. Now we go 1836. Man, what are they doing, man?
What I thought was good blonde hair. What they really blonde hair, man, for 240. I thought that was 240.
They really go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that?
Little hair.
All right, yeah. So remember I was pulling this up the other day. They was talking about the Barbary treaties, 1786 to 16, and then Morocco Treaty of Peace, September 16, 1836. So the now even though the date is cut off here, but they say that the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, or maybe the one of 1786 is in the Barbary treaties. So when you go into the Barbary Treaties, there are a series of treaties known as the Barbary Treaties. And where was we at?
I can look third. Don't worry about it. I was third.
And they were saying how basically the Treaty of Peace and Friendship is one of those treaties. But anyway, this is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836. So we're gonna go through this here. So let me start reading off.
Treaty of Peace, signed at Mechanes, Meknes or Mekbenes, September 16, 1836, 3 Jamada II, AH, 1252. Original in Arabic. A document including a copy of the treaty in Arabic and an English translation, followed by a clause of conclusion under the seal of the United States Consulate at Tanya, was signed by James R. Lee, Consul and Agent of the United States, October 1st, 1836. Submitted to the Senate December 26, 1836. Message of December 20th, 1836. Resolution of Advice and Consent January 17, 1837. Ratified by the United States January 28, 1837. As to the Rata tilde cation generally, see the notes. Proclaimed January so, 1837. The following 26 pages of Arabic text are a reproduction of the pages of the original treaty, but they are arranged in left-to-right order of pagination. 1. Then, from the above-mentioned document signed by James R. Leeb on October 1st, 1836, is printed the English translation, with the clause of conclusion reserving the treaty for the ratification of the President by, and with the advice and consent of the Senate. Translation. In the name of God, the merciful and clement. Abd Erman Ibenu Keshem, whom God exalt. Praise be to God. This is the copy of the Treaty of Peace, which we have made with the Americans, and written in this book, affixing thereto our blessed seal, that, with the help of God, it may remain firm forever.
That's the
Written at Mechanes, the city of Olives, on the 30th day of the month Jumad el-Lahar, in the year of the Hejra 1252, corresponding to September 16th, AD 1836. Art. 1. We declare that both parties have agreed that this treaty, consisting of 25 articles, shall be inserted in this book, and delivered to James R. Leeb, Agent of the United States, and now their resident consul at Tanya, with whose approbation it has been made, and who is duly authorized on their part, to treat with us, concerning all the matters contained therein. Art. 2. If either of the parties shall be at war with any nation whatever, the other shall not take a commission from the enemy, nor fight under their colors. Art. 3. If either of the parties shall be at war with any nation whatever, and take a prize belonging to that nation, and there shall be found on board subjects, or effects belonging to either of the parties, the subjects shall be set at liberty, and the effects returned to the owners. And if any goods, belonging to any nation, with whom either of the parties shall be at war, shall be loaded on vessels belonging to the other party, they shall pass free, and unmolested, without any attempt being made to take or detain them. Art. 4. A signal, or pass, shall be given to all vessels belonging to both parties, by which they are to be known when they meet at sea. The commander of a ship of war of either party shall have other ships under his convoy. The declaration of the commander shall alone be sufficient to exempt any of them from examination. Art. 5. If either of the parties shall be at war, and shall meet a vessel at sea belonging to the other, it is agreed, that if an examination is to be made, it shall be done by sending a boat with 2 or 3 men only. And if any gun shall be fired, and injury done, without reason, the offending party shall make good all damages. Art. 6. If any Moor shall bring citizens of the United States, or their effects, to his Majesty, the citizens shall immediately be set at liberty, and the effects restored. And in like manner, if any Moor, not a subject of these dominions, shall make prize of any of the citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of His Majesty, they shall be immediately released, as they will then be considered as under His Majesty's protection.
Pause. Pause for a second, go.
7. If any vessel of either party shall put into a port of the
King.
other, and have occasion
King.
for provisions or other supplies,
So pause that for
they
a
shall be
second.
furnished without any
You playing it? That's not me.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.
8. If any vessel of the United States shall meet
Pardon. So it said, if any more shall bring a citizen of the United States or their effects to His Majesty, the citizen shall immediately be released and damn, why is this thing blocking this thing? What the fuck? All right, she shall remain. What article is that?
If any vessel of the United States shall be cast on shore on any part of our coasts, she shall remain at the disposition of the owners, and no one shall attempt going near her without their approbation, as she is then considered particularly under our protection. And if any vessel of the United States shall be forced to put into our ports by stress of weather, or otherwise, she shall not be compelled to land her cargo, but shall remain in tranquillity until the commander shall think proper to proceed on his voyage. Art. 10. If any vessel of either of the parties shall have an engagement with a vessel belonging to any of the Christian powers, within gunshot of the forts of the other, the vessel so engaged shall be defended and protected as much as possible, until she is in safety. And if any American vessel shall be cast on shore, on the coast of Wadnoon, or any coast thereabout, the people belonging to her shall be protected and assisted, until by the help of God, they shall be sent to their country. Art. 11. If we shall be at war with any Christian power.
Pardon. When it said about they shall be sent to their country. Any American vessel, part of so. See, like a lot of this, I think is referring to like I say, on the sea. You know what I'm saying? On the seas. Like you talk about the vessels and all of that. Because like I said, a lot of this is dealing with admiralty law. So, but I was focusing on the part about them saying how a person will be, they will be returned to their own countries. So I was going to say, all right, maybe I was misinterpreting that. I was thinking like, so if you were to say you were more, they're going to transport you back to Morocco or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway.
Power, and any of our vessels sails from the ports of the United States, no vessel belonging to the enemy shall follow, until 24 hours after the departure of our vessels. And the same regulation shall be observed towards the American vessels sailing from our ports, be they enemies Moors or Christians. Art. 12. If any ship of war belonging to the United States shall put into any of our ports, she shall not be examined on any presence whatever, even though she should have fugitive slaves on board, nor shall the governor or commander of the place compel them to be brought on shore on any pretext, nor require any payment for them. Art. 13. If a ship of war of either party shall put into a port of the other, and salute, it shall be returned from the fort with an equal number of guns, not more or less. Art. 14. The commerce with the United States shall be on the same footing as is the commerce with Spain, or as that with the most favored nation for the time being, and their citizens shall be respected and esteemed, and have full liberty to pass and repass our country and seaports whenever they please, without interruption.
Also, this is sounding like basically the same treaty, but just they ratified it, meaning they just signed on to it. Remember, like I was reading in the last in the other treaty at the end, it said there's like a 50-year period or something like that that is going to be in a session until I guess until they sign on to it or until they ratify it. So like I was saying, like 50 years from 1887 to from 1787 to what was it 1778, whichever 87 whatever to 1836 is like 50 years, right? Or approximately, and then they signed on to it in that year. That's what they ratified it. So I'm thinking this is the same treaty, the same words, you know what I'm saying? Just signed on to it.
Well, the treaty it's a perpetual treaty. Every 50 years, it just upload itself. It's a self-executing treaty. So all they got to do is just keep doing what they're doing and signing off on it. That's it. So United States adopted this. That's why I said this treaty should be in forever. It says forever, right? So this is the thing on what they did. They got smart. They reclassified us Indians. They destroyed our birth records, destroyed our history, right? So that we couldn't try to make such claims.
We would be non-descendable as a people.
Right. So now they try to hit us with that requisite of condemnation, a condemnation. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they was able to do that. And I was showing a brother about abomination. It's a nation that can't keep his word, or a nation that's untrustworthy.
Right.
An abomination, a condemnation. I try to show.
Kanye West said, I was the abomination of Obama's nation."
Right.
I hear that. Yeah, I bet you was. But yeah, but he said he was the abomination of Obama's nation. You know what I'm saying?
So what we got to understand under the laws of secession is how to not only adopt and accede to the treaty, but pull it into our jurisdiction, right? And post it. Because all we got to do is accede to it under accession and get our stuff under full powers, incorporated through what they call through probate. So all of this stuff, you hear that word approbation. So hold on, let me ask Katana. Katana, approbation.
My name is Cortana. To learn how I can help,
Open up, God. Share your screen.
Approbation.
Share your
spell
screen.
approbation like this: APPROBATION.
So
Share your screen, God.
okay, hold on. She in the way. Shit, I gotta close it. I gotta stop sharing. So, Katana, the definition for approbation.
Sorry, I don't know the answer to this one, but I'm learning.
The definition to approbation.
According to Merriam-Webster.com, definition of approbation 1A, commendation, praise a plan that has won the approbation of the mayor. B, an act of approving formally or officially to obsolete, proof.
So approbation is officially, right, approved, act of approving formally or officially, obsolete, proof. So we got to understand. So let me see.
The certificate of
Absolute has two distinct meanings. As a noun, it means,
Absolute.
sorry, I'm not able to help with this one yet.
Obsolete.
I'm sorry, but I can't help with that yet.
Obsolete.
Obsolete has two distinct meanings.
absolute.
As a verb, it means cause to be or become obsolete by replacing it with something new. Or as an adjective, it means no longer produced or used.
Of a part of a characteristic of an organism less developed than formerly or in related species, rudimentary. So when we dealing, let me see if I can pull up.
Right, what you got?
Probation. You know what's so funny? Approbation. Approbation.
I found 5 locations for.
Approbation.
I've got this for you.
Spell approbation.
Sorry, I'm not able to help with this one yet.
Spell approbation.
Spell approbation like this. APPROBATION.
It won't, it's not in here. APPRB. Oh. So let's go to the etymology of the word. Approbation. Approval, approbation, approval or endorsement. You see that, God?
Yeah. approval or endorsement.
Yeah, approbation to try test something.
So similar to like acceptance. You know what I mean? Like the instrument of acceptance.
Right,
Um, Kind of so like that's kind of what they do. They approbate the instrument.
right. It's approved compared to probation, right? Trial,
What?
experiment,
Side?
active examining what they probe, proof, evidence, and approval, assent, approved in trial, inspection, examination, meaning testing of a person conduct.
You want to for time to go get the store closed now. Food. Oh, Popeyes. You had eight. Oh, he tell over the way. He took grocery store. He tell him he went to the grocery store.
Approval.
Go ahead, I'll hear you, dude. All right, all right.
So Kaden coming along. The one that used to be downstairs. Before it was downstairs, it was very hard. The parents was playing with like my brother.
Yeah, yeah, got part of the stuff too.
Okay. I was looking at, so a probate mean approval, right? So I was trying to look up approval by itself. Um, then I looked up approve to give formal sanctions to perform authoritatively. And then the second sense is parliament law to adopt. That's like the see adoption, approval as a noun.
You come, you feel me, you move like that, and take them back and then come back on. And,
Approver, one who offers proof. A criminal who confess and testify against one or more accomplices. See relative confession under confession. An agent or bailiff, especially one who manages a form or another. Yep, 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 yep. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Ghana guy?
Now, I'm here. I was just, okay, so I was just looking at, okay, we was going over the treaty is basically the same. So let's look at abatement as it relates to this and show you how the abatement.
Yeah. You was breaking down the other day about the specific and the general, like appointments. Like if you don't specify your lineage, then they're gonna do it by general proxy.
Right. A reduction or decrease or a diminution. The suspension or cessation. It ain't cessation, it's a cessation. It's a suspension or a cessation. A cessation is going to be a bringing or coming to an end, a ceasing. A cessation of hostility, right? That's where the cease and assist come from. Right? It says, in whole or in part of continued charge as such rent. With respect to estates, an abatement is a proportional diminution, right? We done seen this word before tonight, right? What is a diminution? Taking away, a reduction, a lessening, incompleteness. The term diminution is used in law to signify that a record submitted by inferior court to a superior court for review is not complete or not fully certified. So remember, I told you records always have to be certified. So when your mama turned in the birth certificate, it was incomplete. It didn't have all the stuff in it. So now, by her being deposited into their jurisdiction, they're going to probate her estate according to the common law of the land, which is under the statutory
probate codes.
Under the uniform probate codes as it relates to statutory law, case law, and administrative law. Because they're going to administer your estate, right? That's what they're supposed to do. When you didn't leave them no instructions, when then you didn't identify yourself as a Moor or did not classify this, because they created the straw man is actually an estate in the United States jurisdiction. That's what it technically is.
Right.
It's an estate. It's a private estate that they gave to you, that it was as an offering. Right? You got to now control the estate, because that's what it technically is. The United States created you a state for you to go in. And if you don't control it, since you're an international protected person and you can utilize the Moorish Treaty, they supposed to, anytime somebody declare they're a Moor, they supposed to automatically be exempt unless they're not a Moor, a part of the treaty. That's why you got to accede to the treaty under secession to kick it in, because there's Moors all over the world. What Moor are you? Are you a Moor? Because Filipinos are Moors. Right. Mexicans are technically Moors. What Moor are you to claim or accede to the treaty right? To get your treaty benefits. So let me go back in the abatement, right? A reduction in a monetary legacy, a disposition of property by will. Now you heard in the treaty, it talked about disposition, that a person may keep their disposition. In the treaty, it goes over that about when I think it's talking about when their boat, their vessel, right? Their vessel, they're allowed to keep their disposition. You see what I'm saying? It says a disposition of property by will. What is your property? Right? Anything you create is your property.
Right.
Children, right? Anything that you create, your books, anything that your will is your property. Your even particular documents is considered property. So anything you people got to keep in mind, anytime you create something where it's personal or real property, it's still your property because you created. You own all the intellectual rights to it. So what happens when you create a invention? You got to put it on paper first, draw out the dimensions, so you own all of that stuff, that intellectual property on paper, so nobody else can reproduce that that instrument or device that you created, because you own all the rights to that particular creation. So we got to look at contracts and all of these different instruments that we create as property when you're dealing in a commercial venue. And most people don't look at that. They look at cars and stuff as property. But technically, it's all the paperwork. You just have what they call right of possession. The car, is it technically yours? No. That's somebody else's invention. You couldn't go back out and reproduce that same car. They would sue you. Right? If you took that same Mercedes Benz and you figured out how to redo it and put a Mercedes Benz logo on it, they would sue the hell out of you. Because that's owned by Mercedes Benz, that logo, that's their intellectual property. All of this stuff, you gotta remember, all things are mine. Mentalism. Everything starts in the mind first. You feel me, God? So most of the Moors are misappropriating how they can go about doing this. So let's get into this.
Abatement. A reduction, a decrease, or a diminution. The suspension or cessation, in whole or in part, of a continuing charge, such as rent. With respect to estates, an abatement is a proportional diminution or reduction of the monetary legacies, a disposition of property by will, when the funds or assets out of which such legacies are payable are insufficient to pay them in full. The intention of the testator, when expressed in the will, governs the order in which property will abate. Where the will is silent, abatement occurs in the following order: intestate property, gifts that pass by the residuary clause in the will, general legacies, and specific legacies.
Let me stop that right there. Do you see that? Gifts that pass by residuary clause in the will. So intestate means no will, right? That's mean you didn't testify, you didn't the property, then it could turn into a gift, right? General legacies, right? General legacy. Remember, Keith was talking about this, God. A general legacy means that everybody in the state get the benefit because they under general law, right? Let's continue.
In the context of taxation, an abatement is a decrease in the amount of tax imposed. Abatement of taxes relieves property of its share of the burdens of taxation after the assessment has been made and the levy of the tax has been accomplished. Cross-references. Taxation, will. West's Encyclopedia of American Law, Edition 2. Copyright 2008, The Gale Group, Incorporated. All rights reserved. Abatement. N1. The removal of a problem, which is against public or private policy, or endangers others, including nuisances such as weeds that might catch fire on an otherwise empty lot. 2. An equal reduction of recovery of debts by all creditors when there are not enough funds or assets to pay the full amount. 3. An equal reduction of benefits to beneficiaries, heirs, when an estate is not large enough to pay each beneficiary in full. C. Abate. Abatement. Interruption of legal proceedings on a plea from the defendant to a matter that prevented the plaintiff from proceeding at that time or in that form, e.g. objections to the mode and time of the plaintiff's claim. Civil proceedings are not abetted by reasons of the marriage, death, or bankruptcy of a party if the cause of action survives or continues. Criminal proceedings are not abetted by the death of the prosecutor or the sovereign, but they are by the death of the accused or, if the accused is a company, by the winding up of the company. A nuisance is abetted when it is stopped. By statute, abatement notices may be served in respect of certain nuisances by local authorities. In both the English and the Scots law of succession, upon there being insufficient funds to pay general legacies, e.g. a legacy of a sum of money, there is abatement of legacies, that is, the legacies are reduced pari passu, in proportion.
Pari passu, share like.
Pari passu. Also found in dictionaries, thesaurus, medical, financial, Wikipedia. Related to pari passu, mutatis mutandis. Pari passu. Latin, by an equal progress, equably, ratably, without preference. Used especially to describe creditors who, in marshalling assets, are entitled to receive out of the same fund without any precedence over each other. West's Encyclopedia of American Law, Edition 2. Copyright 2008 The Gale Group, Incorporated. All rights reserved. Pari passu. Share and share alike, a term used in several contexts, but especially in relation to the rights and ranking of creditors of an insolvent estate. It denotes an entitlement to payment of their debts in shares proportionate to their respective claims. Collins Dictionary of Law, copyright W.J. Stewart, 2006.
Pari passu, pari passu. Ooh. Yeah, God. Teach them from the must side of things. You must know this knowledge. We dropping the science on your head, family. So let's get back down to business. I went over probate as it related to pari passu, share alike. When a nation is bankrupt, right? You got something to add, God? You got your mic on mute.
Now I was gonna say you wanna click this one out. So the new one, because I think we might hit the hour mark. You know what I mean? I try to pause these so they don't go too long. So when I upload them, it's not.
Okay, let's pause this out. Stop it.
So what you want to come back in with? So we can like get straight into it, because I'll be trying to like go straight into the thing, because sometimes when we be in the thing in the beginning of the building, we're trying to find out documents and stuff, like, people, you want to keep people attention span when they watching, man. People ain't trying to 15 seconds pass. Oh, man, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? I'll probably do this tomorrow, man, because I'm lightweight getting tired. I don't be up this late for real, dog.
No, I think it feel you. Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say, so all right, so we went through that treaty, then basically, I guess maybe tomorrow maybe we start getting into that Treaty of Berne. That's what we need to get, and the Geneva Convention.
But yeah, we need to look at the Treaty of Berne as it relates to other nations, because we already got free passage through the United States. The United States created us an estate, so we got to check out what's going on. So yeah, God, we'll break this down tomorrow. I'm about to hit the hay. I'm getting sleepy.
All right, no doubt.
All right,
Gio, peace. Peace, y'all. So yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up for the midnight. And I'm gonna do some editing on the video and all that good stuff, man. We're gonna be back in the building tomorrow, so y'all already know how I go down. Yeah, man. Peace. Yeah, man.